And welcome everybody to another episode of Mac Yak. Appreciate all you guys showing up. As you guys noticed, we have a couple of guests on tonight. One of our favorite guests we have a lot of is Madeleine, and I think this is about the third or fourth time Sean's been on here too, right?
Hello, yeah, I think it's the third time.
Yeah. So welcome Madeleine, welcome Sean.
Thank you.
Hopefully we got a good show for you guys tonight. But we just want to say welcome to you guys, and we'll go ahead and we're ready to get started, or we want to do anything else?
No. I don't know. You're the host.
Well,
Yes, we just have to mention that Bruce couldn't be here,
yes.
so we traded one foul-mouthed Australian for another one.
Yeah, there we go.
Seems like a good deal.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Yeah. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into our news announcements. We're going to be talking a little bit about our news for a little bit here, so it's going to take a little time. First off the bat, Apple has announced their WWDC 21 is going to be 7 through 11 June. So anyone want to take any guesses on what they might probably announce during that time besides,
software?
Well, I know it's software,
M2
but
Max.
huh? You
M2
think they're going?
Max.
You think they're going to say
No,
M2 Max?
probably
No.
No. I think they
Weren't
might
they just
finally
like
make
leaked
the
today
iHammer
or
Pro.
something?
The what, Mike?
I said I think they might finally make the iHammer Pro.
The iHammer Pro. I don't think they're going to announce too many different hardware things. If they do, I can only imagine.
It might be like the Apple TV.
Well, I doubt that. I don't even think the Apple TV is going to get really much updated anymore. I think they're either done with that or.
I don't know about that.
Well, it doesn't need an update. First of all,
Yeah.
still works fine.
Let's not get into this half-hour discussion again.
Yeah.
We got time.
But maybe, and this is a possibility since the iMac has not been updated and they just discontinued the iMac Pro. Who knows? They may be coming out with some kind of new iMac for that, and that's the reason why.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of that could possibly come out.
There's been a lot of rumors and a lot of fanboy renderings of new iMacs. If I had to put money on something, because of the dropping of the iMac Pro, that's where my money would be, on the iMac. But I think it'll only be something like an early M1 22-inch or something like that.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be possibly either an M1 Mac. It could, iMac that is, or even whatever they call the next generation M chip. Is what it is. And Grudy, you're going to have to mute because all we hear is crunching.
Let's not forget we're gonna most likely get the introduction of the newest operating system.
That is
which
true.
Is going to be more ridiculously named, more
Larger, sir.
Yeah.
tightened down,
May I have another, sir? Yeah.
and it's a weird
Bigger,
feeling
sir.
because I'm actually 2 operating systems behind. This is the first time in my life that I didn't update, not even to try. I haven't tried Catalina. I haven't tried Big Sur.
Big Sur actually is pretty stable. I actually enjoy using it on here. I've been using it for a while, so I haven't had a problem with it. Catalina is actually pretty stable too, especially if you want to use newer graphics cards than what you're using, Jay. Because if you're wanting to use like the 5700 or even the new 6700 series, you're gonna have to upgrade to Big Sur because they're not going to be putting drivers into Mojave or even Catalina. Catalina's probably not going to get the 6700 drivers either.
I waited years to get the 580 when I got it for what, $150 it was?
Yeah.
Plus shipping. And with the prices being what they are now, I'm not looking to upgrade anytime soon.
That 580 you could probably sell it for about $600-700 now.
No, I'm good.
Can't
I'm good.
replace it though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've been
Somebody
looking
lost
at a GT
somebody
120
lost
back
his
in.
video card.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Next thing up on the list here, news is April 1st is a significant date in Apple's history. And anybody want to take a guess in the chat why April 1st is such a significant date before I say why? Because this is a history lesson. Some of you guys should. I know everyone here should know.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. There we go. Someone said it right there. Actually, I don't know if it was. It wasn't founded that day. It was.
Yeah.
It was actually incorporated. Yes, that was the incorporation day. And can anybody guess who the third person was that missed out on that incorporation because he backed out at the last minute?
No, he was there. He backed out later on.
Nah, I thought he backed out before it officially became
No, he
incorporated.
backed out right after.
There was
Okay,
yeah,
it was right
there was
after.
the third guy,
Okay.
and
like
he
12
didn't
days,
think
I
it was
can't
going to go
remember the
anywhere.
guy's name.
Yeah, that guy sold all his shares, right?
Yeah, he sold all the shares to Steve and Steve.
I have his signature.
And I have no idea who y'all talking about. So you want to enlighten
I
me?
can't remember his
Yes,
name.
we're talking
I
about
can't
Ronald
remember his
Wayne.
name either.
Hold on, I got it up right here. It's his last name
Ronald
was
Wayne.
Ronald Wayne. Yeah. And
Just said it.
today,
Exactly. Nobody listens to me.
today, he is probably regretting. I think he kind of regrets that decision,
Nope.
but he doesn't.
Every single interview he gives, he says he is happy as a clam.
Well, he has to say that. I
He has to.
That's what people say when they buy an M1 Mac. Oh, I don't have any problems. Damn it. No, I'm fine.
I'm just telling you what he says.
I'm not going to
He's
admit it.
probably a firm believer in no money, no problems.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but still, I mean, you got to think of it this way, man. Look at, I mean, he'd be richer than Bill Gates right now if he was.
Oh, if I was that guy, I'd be pissed at myself. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I'm not
that's-
saying I wouldn't be. No, I'm just telling you what
His
every
kids are
interview.
probably a lot more upset.
Oh, you know they are. It's like, Dad, what were you thinking? But yes,
Now I have to work.
Did he go
Apple.
on to be a member of a dev team or something? Wasn't he involved in early Apple anyway?
He did a few things, but he, you know, I don't think it really amounted to anything.
Well, he was more the
you know,
business
he-
type guy for the. Of
yeah,
the
I
three.
mean, he went into running. I think in the 1970s, he ended up like running a stamp shop, and that was like what he wanted to do. So
Okay.
I
But-
think that's pretty much where he
Yeah.
was happy. So more power to him, I guess.
So that means that today Apple is officially 45 years old. Today, so well, happy birthday,
Yeah.
Apple.
An interesting tidbit, though, because I did write him a letter, because it was reported that he was given an iPad in, I think it was 2010 or 2012 or something like that. And I asked him, I said, do you use it? And he didn't directly answer the question, but he said that he doesn't really use technology, and yeah, he does things the old way and this and that. And so I'm like, okay, well, it might be true that someone gave him an iPad, but I don't think he actually uses the darn thing. So,
There you go.
Wow.
You should ask him to send it to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a first generation. It makes a good doorstop.
I think it was an iPad 2. So
Hey, I have two of those, Grudy. So they actually make
we know
good.
you have a stack of them.
Well, yeah, I do
Those are
actually.
Yeah.
No, they're pretty good for like the digital photo frame. If you want to make like a digital photo frame, because they still work really good with photos. So you could just slap a lot of photos in there and just make it one of those digital photo frames.
I have an iPad Mini, and even in the digital photo frame mode, it's like sluggish.
Well, the minis were actually sluggish no matter what. I mean, the actual.
Yeah, the minis
well, no,
always.
I think it's purely just because the OS on there was newer than the hardware was happy with. So
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
But
They
I
weren't
mean,
bad though.
yeah. So, anyways, guys,
I like
that's all we have for the news and announcements today. Now, going into some other, it's kind of news, but we wanted to talk about this, so we made this kind of a topic tonight. Is if you haven't already, update your iOS devices, because there is a nasty little thing out there that you could possibly get compromised. And the good thing about the thing that Apple did also is iOS 12 devices also got this upgrade. Now, from what I've read, iOS 13 did not. Any devices that can run iOS 13 can actually run 14, so they did not update iOS 13.
I'm waiting for the iOS 10 update.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to do that. But anything from an iPhone, believe it or not, everything from an iPhone 5S and up had got the update. So
Well, that's nice of them.
yeah, that's a lot of
And
updates.
a little bit,
What was the security leak?
WebKit has a bug in it that was actively being exploited in the wild. So it's not a bug where you can say, oh, that's probably not going to affect me. The chances of it affecting you is actually much bigger than, greater than usual, because it's already being exploited.
Yeah.
So it is a pretty nasty bug. Does that make it an iOS TD?
Good joke there.
So yeah, iOS 14, WatchOS. I don't see a mention of 12. Oh yeah, 12.5.
Yeah. So the patches are iOS 14.4.2, iPad OS 14.4.2, WatchOS 7.3.3, and I believe it was iOS 12 also got that same update. Yeah, 12.5.2. And that affected iPhone 5S, 6, 6 Plus, iPad Air, iPad Mini 2, iPad Mini 3, and iPod Touch 6th generation. So all of those older devices that haven't probably gotten an update in
Holy crap.
long time have the updates for that.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, and that just tells you the severity of the issue.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Guess I should update.
I mean, from the article
So should I.
that I was reading on ZDNet, they said the bottom line is the patch is important. Install it now because, like Jay said, it is being actively exploited in the wild, and it can affect your iOS device. So, I mean, I normally do not update right away, but this one I actually did update right away.
Yeah, I usually wait a week.
That's
see
usually
if
what I
there's
do
major
too.
issues with it, then I update.
But this one I actually updated it right away. So I think that's the only thing they fixed in this update. They didn't really do anything else, so it's a pretty safe update. It's not. If it was broke before, it's still going to be broke. So.
Now, a question, and this might be the wrong crowd and audience, but when Apple releases software updates, does anyone actually take the time to look at the security notes of those updates to see what was fixed, or do people only care about new emojis?
Don't they link an article on their website about it? So it's not even in the release notes. You have to jump to their site and then filter through.
Yeah.
There's usually such a laundry list of things you can't even.
Yeah, if it's a bunch of new features that don't really affect my phone, being an older model, then I typically will skip it if they don't say there's anything security related.
Well, I mean, lately they've been doing updates where older devices have actually been running quicker or faster, correct?
Occasionally.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so I mean...
I found that my iPhone 6s Plus seems to run a little, not significantly faster, but it definitely runs better on this newest version of OS than it did on previous versions.
Mm-hmm.
Especially certain features like photo editing and stuff like that. I've noticed are way faster, and my battery is actually holding out fairly well now. So when they first released the version 14 update. Or 13? I can't remember what version we're on anymore. It was killing my battery like crazy even after I had it replaced. But now it seems to be pretty stable. So
Yeah.
Well, my track record with 6S's, no matter how many times the batteries got replaced, they would melt in the first few months. So.
Well,
my
every
first one
update...
lasted 4 years.
Yeah, every update that Apple has ever come out with for iOS has had a forum post on their site talking about battery issues.
Same thing every update.
Every update. And usually it's not a problem with the update. It's the user not actually doing the update correct. In other words, they don't all you got to do mainly to fix a lot of those problems is basically reboot the phone or turn it off. Do a hard reboot, not just a soft reboot. But when you do a hard reset, it fixes a lot of those problems.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time I've ever had battery issues is when the battery was worn out.
Yeah.
Like years into it.
But I haven't even. It's funny. My iPad's like 3 updates behind now because I haven't even bothered. It's like, and then I get the notification like, "Yeah, you really need to update this." So, okay, let's update it.
But I have this thing where, because we live between 2 homes, we use mobile broadband or cell broadband, right?
Uh-huh.
So we've got a couple of dongles at home, and I use my phone at the farm. And the updates, the iPad is one with Cell Incorporated. So the updates require that you be connected to Wi-Fi. So I actually have to connect my iPad, for example, to my phone via Wi-Fi in order to update it with cell data, because we have an enormous amount of cell data, like we'll never run out. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I've been searching for months and looking for a way to get around this, and you can't.
Well, I've actually been able to update my phone on cellular data. It asked me, says, "Are you sure you want to update it over cellular?" I'm like, "Yes," because
mine won't let. For some reason, mine won't let me do that. I tried updating mine the other day at work, and it told me that I had to be connected to a Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
And we don't have Wi-Fi at work, and I'm not. Unfortunately, where I work, we don't even have Comcast for internet, so I can't even tap into one of their routers.
So who do you use for your service, Mike?
It's Blue Ridge Communications. They're a little rinky-dink company.
Maybe they have it blocked where any big downloads can't come over their network, because some cell phone companies might do that.
You're talking about my cell service?
Your cell service, yeah.
Oh, my cell service is T-Mobile.
Oh, okay.
I don't have unlimited data, but I have more. I use very little of it, and I have more than enough to download a 2 gig update.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, my phone. I don't know why I wouldn't let, but I just wait till I got home.
Yep.
I wanna throw this in the group. Surprise everybody before you have a chance to do anything about it. Show me the badge on your App Store icon. It's not focusing, but I am at 90.
185.
Damn. 73.
I'm at 0. I updated
that, Sean.
I updated mine, so.
Wow.
But
0 at 25.
But I have
25. I win! Yay!
I have 0.
I think Steve wins.
Steve, how many do you have?
185.
You have that many apps on your phone?
I don't even have that, like half that many apps on my phone.
I know, that's what I was saying. I don't even have half that many apps.
Yeah, that's why I went like crap. But
say my Microsoft Store doesn't have anything.
Ooh.
Let's see, we got 0.
I got you all
What's
beat.
the
I'm the Windows
update?
phone suckers.
the reason I did that was I used to use a VNC client that was free, and it was ad supported. And all of a sudden they introduced a 5-minute limit. And they didn't announce this. It was just via an app update. And all of a sudden the app limited you to 5 minutes of use. And if you try and control a desktop on a phone, you can easily spend 5 minutes trying to copy and paste and wait for the delay of the lag of the network and all this stuff. And after they implemented that update, I said, well, I'm not letting any of my apps update automatically. Screw that. So, I mean, trust me, I've been very, very tempted to just turn that automatically update thing back on, because it's a pain, because I'll open up Facebook or YouTube or something and I'll get a weird error and I'm like, oh, let me just see if I have the app update, and it's like, oh yeah, you used a version from like 2019.
I go through it once in a while and I update all the essentials like PayPal, my banking app, all the stuff that I really need to be functional, but everything else, like 90, I don't even I didn't even think I had 90 apps.
Yeah, I have a lot of games and stuff that if I'm not playing it actively, I'll just not update it.
Well, I mean, now here's another question for you guys too, since we're talking about this. Who goes and looks at what the actual updates are on most of the apps? Because I noticed lately, every app I've seen so far, they don't put detailed notes anymore in it. They just say, "Oh, bug fixes, and we made the app better."
They haven't done that in a long time, and Google and Facebook were the first ones to start doing
and now everybody's
that
does
basic.
that.
We squashed a
So,
few bugs and made it run smoother, and now everybody does it.
The bigger the company, the more generic they are with describing what they actually fix. I actually write release notes at the company I work at for their apps, so we try and be very descriptive. I try and be very descriptive about exactly what's getting fixed, etc. However, a lot of these companies, like you said, Facebook, Google, YouTube, etc. Oh yeah, we just improved this. They might have like a bullet of something like, oh, we added this, we fixed that, but they tend to be so generic, you know.
They kind of decided it was in their best interest not to tell people that they were spying on them. So,
but also the frequency of these updates that go out, you might get like 10 updates from an app like a month, you know. Whereas back in the day, I remember when the App Store was new, you'd be like, "Oh, wow, I got an update! Like, let's see if this fixes anything."
I don't know who started it. For me, on my phone,
I think it was Facebook.
At the end of 2019, it was actually Credit Karma. It says, "Oh, we update our app every week to make sure you have a nice experience." And then suddenly everybody got on this weekly release schedule for no good reason, even if they had nothing new to add.
A lot of software companies are on a 2 or 3 week sprint, so they will make an update and release it every 2 or 3 weeks. So a lot of them get in the habit of, well, even if it's a bug fix, we're going to push a release. And since these apps are just growing in popularity, I'm sure with the more devices entered, the more iOS versions they're supporting, the more functionality, etc., there's probably always work to do. But it's just an assumption.
I mean, here's the thing, though. It's not only for iOS devices or any kind of mobile devices like that have these constant updates. Is my smart TV actually does the same thing. I go to watch something. It's like, oh, you need to update the app. I'm like, I want to watch TV. I don't care about, updating the stupid app on there.
Game consoles are the same way. Very rarely do I actually sit down in front of my TV and play like my PlayStation 3 or my Wii U. I mean, because they're all out of date. But every freaking time I sit down, we got to download a 500 gigabyte update to this game.
And then by the time you finish updating, I don't feel like playing it no more.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had that happen, and that was a few years ago. I had a Wii U. I had the Smash Brothers game or whatever. I had a friend come over. We didn't have too much time. I plugged the system in, and it started downloading an update, and it was like a gigabyte. And I'm like, well, this is going to take forever. By the time it updated, it had to install. That took forever. And by the time it was done, we had like 15 minutes to play, and he had to go home. So it's like, that sucked.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah, taking back, you just put a cartridge in and turned it on.
Exactly, yeah.
Nintendo 64, baby.
And you know what's bad about that?
Behind the entertainment unit, just plug it directly into the console. No Wi-Fi.
Yeah, even the Switch, which has cartridges, has updates to the cartridges, so you have to download updates.
That's actually a good idea because you never want to be locked in with like a fatal bug or something in a cartridge.
True, but that bug is always going to be in that cartridge because it's not. I don't think it's updating the cartridge. You're only updating.
Well, what they do is there's an application launcher on the console itself, so they'll patch some code, I'm sure, on there and we'll do it that way. But
why even bother do that? Just have all downloadable content then if you're going to do that.
That's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do, but not to get on a tangent, but in the case of Nintendo, they actually say that you cannot transfer a title from one piece of hardware to another. For example, if your system breaks, you have to send it to them, and they have to do the transfer themselves. Technically, your account doesn't have the software allotted to it. The piece of hardware it's tied to has the software allotted to it. And they're just very, very afraid of piracy and sharing and all that crap. Hopefully that'll change sometime soon. But it's just a weird thing that they've sort of cornered themselves into.
Yeah. All right. So that kind of leads us into our next topic in a way is we're going to say give a farewell to 10.4 Fox. We tried to get the developer on here. I don't think anybody could reach him, but We'd love to get him on Mac Yak to talk about this, but 10.4 Fox is announcing it's going to stop development after the next version. Also, and somebody wrote this in the notes, Classilla is also going bye-bye.
Yep.
So,
Classilla hasn't gotten any updates in a long time. It's kind of been in what the hell do they call it?
Purgatory.
It's been at a
extended release mode.
yeah.
I think that guy called it hobby mode. It was in hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, that
he's going to be.
and just because it's not going to be updated doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be usable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Classilla is. I mean, these browsers are still going to be usable for at least the foreseeable future until the internet changes so dramatically that truthfully, these computers aren't going to be able to do anything anyway. I mean, 10.4 Fox barely runs on a G5 certain sites. So
Yeah.
With Classilla, he says that he's going to be releasing his beta release for one more update, which isn't completely finished, but it will have some more features.
well,
I think he also mentioned that it would be available for others to pick up where he left off, as long as they would do it under a different name. So, Sean, get on that. Thanks. And I also got the idea that he was just tired of it because it was along the line. He wrote a damn book. Okay, it was a huge amount of text. What I took away from it was like, listen, I'm busy. I got a 9 to 5. You cannot pay me enough to continue doing this. So goodbye.
And he doesn't
That
use it
guy's
regularly
more than a
anymore.
9 to 5. Did you know that guy's like a medical doctor?
Who?
I have no idea who he is.
That guy is like a high up government official medical doctor. He's actually the guy who canceled Coachella this year because of COVID-19. He's like, I don't know if he's like the city or like a state level guy, but
So
he's
he's
like
really popular, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know
He has a lot
how
of other stuff to
doing
do.
all of that and developing 2 web browsers.
Yeah, he should obviously stop being a medical guy. I mean,
Well, yeah.
it's more point.
I actually messaged him on an unrelated subject on an unrelated website about something completely, geeky
Unrelated?
Well, no, but
anything
and he
Steve does is
responded, so
geeky. Come on.
I was happy about that, but I discovered what Sean was just saying after that, and I'm like, wow, I'm surprised he actually responded.
Yeah, I just shared a link to you guys, and maybe we should share it in chat. But there's a very good article about this guy in this publication called Tedium, which goes all into his history and his day job and just how like intense the whole story is. It's crazy.
I just
But
posted.
yeah,
the
that
link.
guy, the lone coder, just this one guy doing this thing that he said like 2,000 people every day ping his servers for updates.
There it is.
Oh,
And
there
you-
happens to be a tweet in
One
there from
guy.
Action Retro.
Exactly, and Sean is smack and dab in the middle of that article.
Oh, no wonder why Sean wanted that article out there.
We
Ah.
usually save the self-promotion for later, man. What's going on?
I sprinkle it in the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad at least that he seems to be, saying like, hey guys, this is what's going on. There's going to be this one last update or whatever, and then if you really want to continue the project, here's all the keys to the kingdom to do so. You see a lot of these projects that are handled the complete opposite way of just the developer just shutting down, just never responding, and the source code and all the building tools that would help this project going forward are lost. It stinks of the guy stepping away from it, but look, priorities change, people change, people's lives change. So it's great that this project will hopefully live on by somebody who knows what they're doing and knows what they're getting into. Maybe a team of people can work on this instead of just one guy. So,
Well, there's a couple developers here in the Mac Yak crew, right? We can just make it Mac Yak Fox.
I volunteer Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce.
Bruce.
Yeah, since he's not here, we volunteer him.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself. So
Yeah.
get on it, Bruce.
He's probably watching
Yeah,
right
he
now.
doesn't
No!
He's gonna call it recap of 10.4 Fox.
Recap of Fox.
Recap of Fox.
Recap of Fox. That's awesome.
And you know what's funny is we need to go ahead and trademark that right now. So when Bruce does try to use it, say, nope, you got to give Mac Yak a.
Yeah, go buy the
Just name it something better.
Probably say Brankus Fox or something.
He'll say, "Screw you guys! I'm going to call it Old Web Browser."
Anyways, yeah, it's going to be a sad day. But like Mike said, it's not gonna affect what we can do now on it. I mean, like people are saying too, the hardware has just gotten so old that some of these websites. I mean, it still takes you can't do a whole lot. I mean, it's slow as molasses already on a G5. So,
Yeah, I mean, if the page is not optimized for retro stuff, like some of the stuff that Sean has been doing and things like that, it's really just best to have like a semi-modern computer on your network, download what you need to download or get what you need to get, and then transfer it over the network through FTP or SMB or AFP or any of that stuff to the computer. Because I do this all the time. I download stuff from Macintosh Garden or whatever, and archive.org and stuff like that. It's just like, just to load the index page, the search results just painful, even on 10.4 Fox, depending on the machine you're on. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it could be painful. So it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to cheat here. Just use modern machine.
And just, using especially everybody's benchmark as far as web browsers go. They say, can it do YouTube? That's their benchmark, go-to benchmark now.
Don't even try anymore.
Yeah. Because...
The problem is this is going to make the PowerPC challenge a lot more challenging.
Exactly.
A lot more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had issues really. Since it is based on Firefox, it takes many of the same plugins, not all of them. So I put no script on there. I put my ad blocker on there, and it's a trade-off. You have to experiment because these plugins take up CPU cycles. So you gotta kind of experiment. Is it worth blocking all this extra code and scripts and stuff from loading? Will it actually make it faster or slower? And with no script and an ad blocker, I found that most websites perform pretty well.
Yeah, what I'd like to see someone do with a retro browser, security to me is the most important. I wish they would build in all of that script blocking and have all those options built in so they don't take a ton of processing power. And then you could browse the web much quicker and then only worry about dealing with HTTPS, which is, the killer. But I don't care if the website, looks perfect like it does on my modern machine. I just want to be able to access it.
Mm-hmm. I think I wish I had the brains to do this. I am not smart enough, not by a long shot. But I wish someone would make a browser that doesn't have any security features built in. Nothing. And make it available as a kit. You have this basic browser that is fast as lightning, but it has to be paired with this Raspberry Pi that handles all the script blocking, ad blocking, security, filtering, all that stuff. So basically, make all the processing of that stuff external. I think that would be amazing.
There's some of those out there
myself, I would.
There's some of those out there that it's like a proxy that, like Macintosh Librarian is mentioning, that will render the stuff and then send a compatible version to your device. And there's some interesting stuff that has been going on of people doing that. It's not perfect, but you can actually render pages on like a Mac SE or whatever, because what it will do is that device will get the page, it'll render it, slice it up into chunks, and send like a frames or a table version of that site to your computer.
Yeah.
And it's altered, but it's really neat that these things are going on. I haven't played with it personally, but that's something I'd like to do.
Yeah, it makes a clickable image map of it.
Yep. Yeah, like an old Adobe Go Live experiment,
Yeah, right.
That brings back bad.
So
exactly.
So Kate goes. Usually, it sends a GIF or a PNG that has clickable sectors.
A what?
GIF.
A GIF.
A GIF? You mean?
It's a GIF.
GIF.
It's a
GIF.
No.
GIF.
Dude.
GIF stands for Graphics Interchange Format.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like how we run macOS.
I'm gonna take a trip to Africa and see some giraffes.
Oh boy. Anyway.
But yeah, see, even Fox says GIF is a soft G. GIF. It's Jiffy. Yeah.
Let's move on before we spend
calls
45
it
minutes on the
Jeff.
correct
Well, the
pronunciation.
developer is wrong.
He's the one that came up with the word.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
they're
he
not
knows-
always perfect.
Yeah,
bet
And I'm
Never
glad
seen
you
it
brought
better.
this up, Sad Mac. It is indeed Bondi Blue, not
Ooh,
Bondi.
I agree with that.
Bruce is like steaming over. He's probably tingling
Really?
right now.
What's this Bondi business? Somebody's going to tell me this story.
Oh,
So Jay is of the mind that the Bond. I can't even- Jay prefers to call the Bondi Blue iMac Bondi Blue, and
Okay.
I made a snafu in one of my videos where I said it the incorrect way, and Bruce was very quick to correct me, as well as 5 billion other people in the comments section, and I've never forgot it since. But Jay is insisting that is the other way, and Bruce has always said, well, if you're in Australia and you tell someone to take you to the beach and you pronounce it incorrectly, they're not going to take you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
also
would
said
take
Which
it
isn't
there
in my
just out of
iMac, so
spite.
it's fun.
Bruce also said that even though that may be so, the original Aborigine word for that beach is Bundi. So
Yeah.
see, Jay's right.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Rudy, can you
That-
put the bowl on your head when you're
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good meme right there. So everybody meme that.
Put that on your head. Double hat.
The memes that Greg gives us, you know.
Oh yeah,
It's the
right.
gift that keeps on giving.
Hey,
Mike, what the hell are you doing?
He's put the cat on his head.
That's another meme. Yeah. See, you guys were talking about in Discord.
Hair. I thought I'd help myself
Yeah.
out.
Look like one of those Russian hats.
All right. So, anything else before we move on, guys, on the Classilla and 10.4 Fox?
Nope.
Just hope
It'll be
somebody will
interesting
pick
to
it up.
see if someone picks up. I mean, for now we can fly by with what we got. A few years from now, people are going to get so frustrated. Someone else might pop up and do something.
I'm sure
mean,
they will.
just-
There's like that Wicknix guy who makes some of the other browsers. Somebody will pick it up.
Mhm.
There's a lot of smart
Yeah.
people in this team.
Right, Sean?
thing's for
You
certain.
got time?
Yeah.
He's gonna
I'm
put
not-
he'll make it with RGB though.
we should just
Oh no, pass.
we should just volunteer Bruce to do it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, because he's not busy.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And he does coding all day long. He's really going to want to code
Yeah.
this in his spare time.
Exactly. Exactly.
One thing's for sure, by reading that guy's, post, book, novel, whatever you want to call it, a good part of it was him talking about the kind of, like, half of it was a tutorial on how to submit bug reports. I mean, the amount of communication he gets from people every day has got to be just crazy. So how do you deal with that? You got to be prepared to deal with all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than just writing the code. You've got to deal with all these people coming at you from different angles saying, well, can we add this? Can you do that? This doesn't work, when in fact it may be their fault it's not working.
I think
Yeah,
Jay. I think
so.
Jay can relate to that because he actually does a website that kind of probably gets a lot of emails, right?
No, nobody goes to that.
Apple serial numbers dot.
You
Come
still
on.
don't know the domain, but that's okay.
Still,
Actually,
It's only been 2 years. Give him another couple.
Let's say in the course of 1 month, I get 0 or maybe 1 email that says, "Hey, this serial number isn't found." I never get any bug reports or stuff like that because, as old as it is, it does work. So that's a bonus.
I think the quality of the bug reports that this guy was probably receiving would drive any of
Yeah.
us up.
probably some of them weren't even bug reports. It's probably something that somebody saw or didn't do correctly.
Well,
or,
exactly. The quality
Yeah.
of the bug report is not good. It's not usable.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to game time. I think we only got one Eat Quack here, so
Yeah, but I thought it was a fun one.
yes, and so we're going to go ahead with it. This comes from Ed Retrotech on Discord. So here it is, and everyone should know this by now. So if you don't, then follow everybody else. Okay. So, do you currently have a vintage Mac upgrade it / mod that you haven't yet installed? And also, what about more than 310 plus?
Well,
we know
on both of them. Look, I have one here that I've had on my floor for so long, I don't even remember what it is.
Welcome to the club, Sean.
I have no
I have
idea.
been there.
Oh, we talked about that last week or the week before. Like,
Well,
you might want to check it before your return window closes.
Yeah.
That's been there for like 6 months. So
who was it that?
Oh, yeah, too late.
Who was it? One of us that didn't check something and
That was
found
me.
out. Oh, it was you, Dana. Yeah.
I ordered a SCSI card a number of years ago, about almost 3 years ago at this point, that I was going to use in a certain machine of mine. And then one thing happened after another, and I went to use it, about a month ago, and I opened up the box, and everything except the card was in the box. So,
terrible.
yeah. At least I only paid
So
like $25 for it.
For those that eeped, what kind of upgrades are you waiting to install?
Secret
I
upgrades.
don't think I've eeped yet. Hold on, I'm trying to think if I have any upgrades.
I have
I
a
still
bunch
have-
of G3 and G4 upgrade cards for 601 Power Max, and I really only have one that I can use.
Well, I don't really have any retro stuff. So unless you count the Apple II that Steve still has for me, that's pretty much all I have that's retro.
Yeah, but you don't have any upgrades.
No, I don't. So
So
it'd be a
I
quack
have a
for
brand
me.
new. What was that thing called, Gritty? You put in the Quicksilver Max. It has all the different media.
Oh, a sweet multi-port.
Yes, I have a brand new one in the box that I still haven't put in yet.
Did you check and see if it's in there?
It's never been opened.
You
I
sure
have
it's
a
in there?
graphite
It better
one that I
be.
still haven't put in, so yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you.
I still got one waiting to be put in. I also found this a few weeks ago. I found another dual 1.8 gigahertz Sonnet CPU upgrade for the MDD that I haven't even tested yet. I need to overclock it and test it.
Clean your desk and do it.
but- It's in here somewhere.
yeah, we David and I are in agreement. We can't share our upgrades because then Sean will buy the upgrade and do a video quicker than we can.
So,
If you want to avoid that, just send the upgrade to me.
Ah,
can I
No honor amongst modders.
can I make a submission for the
Sure.
Eat Quack show?
oh yeah, go for it.
Yes.
So, give us an eep if you've ever managed to melt the plastic of your computer case.
Eep.
Define melting. Is it talking about actually like
A chemical melt or a heating
Yeah,
melt?
heat, or you're
As
talking
in
like
chemically
chemical
melt-
mistakes.
like
As in chemically melting your computer because you're trying to restore it.
or like a soldering
I
iron,
can go.
like a soldering iron
Done
laying
both.
on it, something.
I see
yeah.
where that's going.
I'm
Yeah, I think I
I
know
can
somebody.
safely say that I have, in fact, done that. Yeah,
making a large
that's an
jab.
issue I've encountered.
I
in the past.
think that cursed Mac got that treatment, didn't it?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
just a little
Well,
bit.
it looks fine now. Look, it's right there.
Yeah, but I think somebody did manage to melt the plastic a little bit more than he thought it was chemically.
And I resent the fact that you say it's cursed, even though the outside may be cursed, but the inside is beautiful, Sean.
Part of it, yeah. So it's like a piece of gold in like a pile of.
It's a beautiful demon.
Well, okay, so this is
Diamond in the rough.
if anybody's ever heard the old adage that you can't polish a turd, well, let me tell you
yeah.
something. Sean has done his damnedest to polish the freaking turd.
Hey, I tell you what, I tell you,
like how it
Mike,
came out.
Some
Mike-
possible job at it.
Mike, Mythbusters actually
I was
busted
just
that
about to
myth
say that.
because
Oh,
they
yeah, I saw
that.
actually did polish a turd.
It's
Believe it or
very
not.
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all the information I want. I don't
No,
know
I'm
if
serious. Mythbusters.
Oh,
Myth,
great episode.
it is
Next
Mythbusters.
week on Turd Yak.
They actually did polish one.
Next week on Crap Yak,
All right.
I had to get a jab in there at Sean.
Also, I didn't hear any other eeps or quacks.
But this is how you learn.
quacks.
Well, here's my thing. Does having a soldering iron accidentally hit it and melting the plastic count?
I say yes.
What are you, an idiot?
I've done that on the inside. Of
I've done that before, yes. So I would say...
I've done that on the inside many times.
Well, in that case, then yeah, I've done it too.
Well, it seems like I'm in good company then.
Yeah, see?
Yes. Don't worry.
But I've
I'll give you a hard time, but we're equally as guilty.
But I've never done it trying to strip paint off of my computer. So,
But I promised
that's
myself.
Okay. That's okay, Sean, because now, one of these times I go over to Steve's house, I'm going to find that ridiculous, disgusting SC in his
Clown Mac.
The clown.
and I am going to clean the paint off, and now I know what not to do to it.
I was just going to say, don't use what Sean used.
Paint
But,
comes off
Mike,
with alcohol.
Not
too
to
much.
use industrial strength paint stripper, that's for damn sure.
but Mike,
Hey,
but
it's
Mike,
just rubbing alcohol in like a gel solution, but there must have been like a acetone or something in there.
It's
I don't
not
know.
rubbing alcohol, it's acetone, you idiot.
Mike, here's the thing though, is now you can actually hire Sean as a body specialist because now he knows how to use Bondo.
Yeah, I'm pretty Bondo
That's
now.
true. And actually, I have to say, Sean, that was actually a very good idea.
Yeah, that was
It's-
cool.
It's amazing.
Well, I didn't want to give up on it. It was still structurally
amazing
sound.
how-
It just didn't look good.
It's amazing how useful Bondo really is, and everybody thinks it's just for cars and metal. It's actually not. It's actually used in all kinds of manufacturing to make things. I mean, hell, these freaking kids nowadays, they make half their car out of the crap. It weighs about 5,000 pounds, but Bondo's actually quite useful. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, damn, I'm impressed.
Yep. All right, is that it for the Eep Quack tonight?
I don't know if Greg wants
Yes.
to make a comment or if he is just dozing off.
I'm dozing off.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to our last topic of the evening, which is going to take a while because, and we're going to talk a little bit about Sean stuff, but we also got Madeleine here tonight, and she has a little short story. She promised us it's a lot shorter than the last story we got. So we're
this
gonna.
one's only going to take 25 minutes instead of 30.
So
we got time. Keep going.
So we're going to
As
throw
long
this.
as it's a fun story.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Madeline can talk as long as she wants.
Yes, go ahead, Madeleine. It's all you now.
All right, so I worked in a media, public relations, and advertising firm in Australia in 1989, and the fellow that ran the advertising business was a guy named John McIntyre, and John had quite a bit of claim to fame to various projects. And anyway, he's come into the creative studio on a Friday afternoon, and Friday afternoons are our busiest kind of time. And he said, listen, you guys come into the boardroom next Friday afternoon. We're going to have John Bon Jovi here. And we've all, and our ears are all pricked up, we've gone, John Bon Jovi, and I've looked at John and, and he tells a few tall stories too, and I've just said, bullshit, John. Anyway, so I'm thinking about this over the weekend, and we were doing all of this work for Gucci for their handbag range. So I've gone in on Monday morning, and we had these massive reproduction cameras that could do broadsheet newspapers. So you could get a good, A1 poster out of these things. So I got all of these Gucci handbag ads, which they were really kind of simple. They just had a shot of a model with the bag, with the logo in the bottom corner. And I've taken Bon Jovi's head and replaced the head of the model on the on the Gucci ad. I've blown them up to A1, and I put a headline down the bottom that said, Gucci for when you're not living on a prayer, and and hung them up around the agency. And so I did one, and people were coming by and seeing it and going, oh, that's really hilarious, you know, and I was getting a bit of a kick out of it. So I made more of them. So I made like probably 20 of these posters. And the thing about agencies in these days is, you know, they've got posters of the work up all over the agency everywhere. So it was no problem to go along to these frames and pop out the other ads that we had in these massive poster frames and put these other posters up. And John's come into my office and he said, I don't know if he's going to like this. And and I'm looking at him going, mate, you know, you've told some tall stories, but, you know, now I've heard it all. This is not happening. There's no way this is happening. And he's going, oh, well, you know, you'll see on Friday afternoon. And everybody's getting a bit of a giggle out of it. And anyway, so this week goes by, and
we're starting
comes
to lose
along,
your...
and, you know, and nothing's happening by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the thing about working in these creative studios and advertising studios at the time is Friday afternoon is your absolute busiest time. Like, all of the advertising goes into Saturday and Sunday papers on a Friday afternoon. Mm-hmm. So, and you've got a 6 p.m. deadline to meet for these newspapers. So, you know, we were running around and printing stuff, and I was in the darkroom using this reproduction camera. And I've got all of this work to press through, and there was no way that I was going to get, you know, all of this done, I didn't think. And anyway, I get a knock on the darkroom door, and it's John's voice, and he says, can you pop out here for a moment? And I'm standing at the camera, and I've suddenly got this sinking feeling like, oh no, he's actually turned up. and he keeps knocking on the door, and I swung the door open, and there's Bon Jovi.
Oh.
Wow.
And I had no idea what to do, so I just kind of stood there, and he's come up to me and he's given me a hug and he's whispered in my ear, I hope you've got a good lawyer. So the thing with John was, he organised, this was close to Christmas, and he organised these Christmas carols, and somehow he's a friend of the promoter. They were touring Australia, and somehow he'd organised him to come and sing at this local Christmas carols, which he did, and we got to have drinks with John Bon Jovi.
That's awesome.
So did you have a good lawyer?
Glad he had a...
I raced around, so I met all of my deadlines, and then we had drinks in the boardroom, and that went on until 2 a.m, and with everybody giving me a hard time about what I'd done, and I came into the office on the Saturday morning, and, you know, and sheepishly kind of took all of these posters down.
At least he had a good sense of humor.
He did have a good sense of humor. Yeah.
All right, so
there you go. That's my short story.
Alrighty, so Sean has been up to a lot of stuff lately, and that's the reason why we actually have him on tonight, because he has come up and he's been in the news a lot lately as far as some of the retro stuff. So Sean, what have you been up to?
So I had this idea, like, you know, and it's kind of coincidental that then the stuff about 10.4 Fox comes out. And everybody's talking about, oh, Mac's not going to be able to browse the internet anymore. But I had this idea, like, you know, I found in Firefox there's a reader mode, and reader mode breaks, you know, the text out of all the crazy stuff that's happening in the article, right, on the page. So it takes out all the JavaScript, takes out all the ads, the trackers, and formats it very nicely. And it's open source. And I found a PHP port of it. So I thought I could combine that with the RSS feed from Google News and just come up with a way to read like Google News on really old browsers. So I built that. So I have the Google News feed just parsed into a little PHP thing that I wrote. And then all the links I replaced to a proxy I wrote in PHP that goes through Mozilla's readability to break down the articles so that you can read those in basic HTML too. And the end result is actually a super fast page that loads in seconds, even on like Netscape 2 on an SE30. So I was testing it on Netscape 2 on 16 megahertz SE30, and the page load times are like instant. And it's like as if you were browsing the internet in the old days almost.
I can't wait to try that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it shocked me how well it worked, honestly. Like I just had this idea, like I was, at work, and I do some, my day job has to do with like Google and all that, right? And working with developers and stuff. I'm not a developer really myself. I'm like developer adjacent. So like
Are you
I know
a Google
it would be
employee, sir?
dangerous. No.
Okay.
I am not. Yeah. So I built that, and it worked way better than I expected. So I just put it out there. Like I put it on Facebook, and it got more traction than I expected. And then I put it on Reddit, and then it actually wound up being like front page on Hacker News, and then like the Register wrote about it.
Right.
It got a shocking amount of traction. I saw some people like made videos. Like there was one guy who made a video on his 46 compact Contura laptop, and pages were just loading instantly, and he was loading them over dial-up. He had a dial-up server that he built in his house. Yeah, and it was like, you couldn't load a Google News front page that fast on a modern computer as he was loading it on his compact Contour 46 over dial-up. Like it was just an instant page load. Yeah, so
that is awesome.
That was a lot of fun to make. And
so it's
honestly,
called what? It's called 68k.news, right?
68k.news.
And where? How are you hosting it? How are you?
So originally I just had it on GoDaddy hosting. I just threw it up on GoDaddy, right, as an idea, like to use myself, and I was going to use it in a video. But then once people started talking about it, I was like, crap, I better put this on some real hosting. Yeah, so now it's up on DigitalOcean, and it has some resources behind it, but it's actually pretty light. Like it doesn't seem to use that much memory or processor at all. But if it does, then I can ramp it up.
How many hits?
Mac Pro, it loaded so fast. It was there before I lifted my finger off the return key.
Well,
people were doing comparisons on Hacker News of like the load time of like sub 400 milliseconds for my version versus like several seconds for Google's version, just loading all the crazy JavaScript and stuff. You just strip it all out at the source, and it's much faster.
That's crazy.
Nice. I would love to get this loaded on like an Apple II and just dump all the text to an image writer or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. Somebody showed me a picture of it on a Tandy, a 79 Tandy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it works great in text mode browsers. And I also wrote an image viewer in PHP that takes the images from the article and shrinks them down to something reasonable. And then instead of displaying them inline in the articles, they're just linked at the top. So it'll say article images, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can click on them. It's actually a great way to read like Wikipedia. Because it says article images up at the top, so you can read the Wikipedia article and then go, I want to see a picture of it. You can go up and click on it, but you don't have to. The machine is too slow.
You know how I'd like to try this? So when I was in college, we had just the most basic computer labs. And I think Netscape 1.0N was out. People were still using Mosaic as their browser. But if you were in a dorm and you didn't have that fancy software, you were using Telnet, you were using Gopher, you were using Pine for email. It was all text-based, and then the text browser was called Lynx, I think it was, Lynx. Yep. And this is exactly how news and stuff used to come up, like on the local college network when they had announcements for the students or whatever, or sports or what. It would come up in a format like this on Lynx, and this just takes me right back to that. So I bet this would look pretty good on that.
Yeah. People show me pictures of it on very old text browsers, on Apple IIs and Tandys and Color Classic and stuff. Or, nice. Cocoa, I mean. Yeah, it works on all those machines actually way better than I expected it to. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
So how many hits has that webpage gotten so far? Or have you been keeping track?
So here's the thing. I have no idea. No tracking. I mean, I could look at the server logs and see, but I haven't actually looked yet.
That'd be interesting to see how much it's being used right now, because that or the web traffic going to that page, because that would be something interesting to know.
Yeah, you should put the. I have a very simple counter that I used on the Marcintosh website. You should use something very simple like that at the bottom, or just look at the server logs. But
well, it's not JavaScript, is it?
No, I don't believe it is, because it works on vintage Macs. So.
Okay.
Oh, Bruce is in the chat.
Yes, he's the future 10.4 Fox developer.
Is this where we let Bruce know that he is now the new 10.4 Fox developer?
Yeah. Bruce, you got volunteered because you weren't here, and we voted on it, and it was a majority. Sorry.
We know you're not that busy. So.
So 68k.news is the first half of it, right?
Right.
So then, after I got all that working, I thought, I bet I could apply this to just like everything, right? Like the whole internet, basically. If it works in reader mode, you just have to get to the page to be able to put it into reader mode. So I made a search engine. And this is up now at frogfind.com. And what I did was I took DuckDuckGo and I just put that through. I wrote some new PHP to parse that into just extremely basic HTML to pull out, just title, URL, and the description. And then when you click through to an article from FrogFind, it goes through that same kind of proxy that I built that puts it through reader mode, and then it replaces all the links on that page with my proxy, which means you can just browse deep into websites, and you can just browse the whole internet like that.
That's cool.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, a good example is the one I tested on is Ars Technica. So you search FrogFind for Ars Technica, and it's the first result. You click in, it's the front page, and you can click through to all the articles. Then you can click the links in the articles and go deeper into the site. And now I've added just a URL bar at the top.
What's the web link again?
Frogfind.com.
Now, what if you can't find a site through that? Is there a way to manually force it to load a page?
Yeah, so I'm going to add something to that effect. I mean, right now,
you can
search,
fast.
Just go to any page and then just put a URL at the top once you're in that reader mode.
Okay, yeah, because I did a search and it didn't come up. So okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So I thought I named it FrogFind because back in the day it seemed like they always named search engines weird stuff like that. Dogpile was my favorite when I was a kid. Because of the.
Guess what? I type in Mac Yak and the first hit is mac-yak.com. Imagine that.
Nice.
And how does it render?
Failed to get the article. Sorry, invalid or incomplete HTML. So it doesn't work. we broke it.
Right away.
We broke it
because it's like WordPress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's projects like this. And by the way, even though I don't use computers that old that need this, I will still be testing it out when the time comes that I'm back on OS 9. If stuff like 10.4 Fox or Classilla falls away, the current versions will still be usable longer with projects like this. So it's really awesome.
Well, that's the thing, is there's kind of two strategies to browsing on an old computer, and one is to drag the old computer kind of kicking and screaming onto the modern internet, and then the other strategy is to drag the internet kicking and streaming into the old computer, and that's kind of what this accomplishes. Try to make as much of the web accessible just in an accessible manner instead of trying to account for everything on the old computer itself.
I think all you need right now is a snazzy new mascot.
Yeah, mascot would be good if we could get a nice small loading GIF.
We will lease our old Mac Yak logo to you.
No. I heard he was showing Sean something pretty funny, so maybe that'll make it on there.
So, guys, I just sent you guys a link that I found that was actually one of the search things on there, and somehow someone is either stealing all of our videos or something, because I don't remember making this.
What?
I just sent you guys, it's some different country, I guess, because there's a lot of different... VN clip? What is VN clip?
It's a YouTube clone.
Kind of aggregator?
Yeah, it's just some scraper. My
Oh,
stuff's
they
probably
already
not
have
that
this
bad.
episode on there. Wow, we're not
Yeah.
even done yet.
It's like it's Vietnamese. It's Vietnamese.
No,
Like,
it's just
Oh my God.
embedding the YouTube embed code. It's not even downloading
Yeah.
or scraping anything.
Well, I mean, it's looking at our back. I mean, the banner is just like, oh, it's horrible.
Well, yeah, they're just
Yeah.
grabbing what they can grab, but yeah, all these are just embed links.
Okay, I was just wondering about that because it actually showed up on Sean's little frog find, so that's why I was like, let me go look at
The
that.
frog got
Find stuff we didn't even know about.
Yeah, see, Sean, that's helpful.
Glad it could help. Yeah, but anyway, I'd be interested to see if anybody can test it on, old machines like classic Mac OS and earlier.
I don't know
See
if
how-
anybody can help you out with that.
Yeah,
anyone
we won't be able to
any
help you out
old
with that.
Macs.
I have an iMac G3 back here that has 9.2.2 on it, so I'll give that a shot too.
That's
Yeah,
Not old enough.
How's it going to look on a plasma display?
Do you think it's DOS compatible?
If you have a text-based browser on there.
yeah. He
Yeah.
said it worked on its
Sure, I
handy.
could find one that'll work on a 386. Well, I
Try
mean,
it, Mike.
I do have Windows on there, so I mean,
Do you have a
Windows
network card?
361. Yeah, I have a network card,
There you
It'll
go.
work on there. I saw it on a
and the modem's sitting right behind it too.
I mean, people had it running on 8-bit micros, so
Any
Your thing
any
is a
plans
speed
for an
date
image
micro,
search?
so-
What did you say, Jay?
Any plans for an image search?
That's a good idea. I could totally do that because I already have the image viewer built.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, keep up the good work, Sean. You're all making us look bad.
I know.
Thanks.
Hey, that's how he gets his viewers now. So he makes all this new stuff, and he's gonna
You
put.
just promise us you have an RGB button on there.
Oh, I was just gonna say that.
Especially on
No.
like a compact Mac with the black and white CRT, it just like pulsates.
It's 1-bit RGB.
Yeah, there you go.
Just R.
Just the B for blink.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm reading some of the comments over here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's make it work on a Newton.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll work on a
Yeah.
Newton.
I'll test
Somebody
it.
had it working on a Wii, an original Wii. They were
Oh,
mad
yeah.
because the Wii News is closed, but they're able to load 68K news on it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, because I think it just used the Opera browser. So
Yeah.
So
That's
and
awesome.
Justin Morgan says that, and we all want to know if he ever uncurses the recursed SE30.
Well, tune in Saturday.
Ah,
So as long as that next
find
upgrade
out.
works, I think it'll be fine.
all right.
It's going to be another video of just Bondo, the whole video, like 30 minutes.
Bondi?
Bondi. Anything
The
else,
only
Sean?
Bondo.
Anything else, Sean?
Nope, just those two little sites.
Just that, nothing huge.
just some hobby project.
Nothing.
Yeah, just a
Windows
little bit.
10-4 Fox will be taking over.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we already said Bruce is taking that over, so
Yeah, Bruce is on that one.
Yeah.
yeah. Did he say anything
Yeah,
about
but
that?
I mean, Sean is obviously so into this whole developing stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not very good at it. That's the problem. If I took over 10.4
You're good
Fox,
enough.
it would be about 100
Yeah,
times
yeah.
slower by the
That's
time I'm
tough,
done with
yeah.
it.
I think the biggest problem he's run into with 10.4 Fox was trying to make it compatible with too many of the latest like Java updates and scripting and stuff like that. Because I remember when I first started using 10.4 Fox, it was like crap through a goose, man. It was just, and then you try to use it now, and it's just it's so-so. And it's kind of like everything else. It's just getting bogged down.
I think it's Java itself because if you think about it, Java it should probably be on the way out, almost like what was that?
Java is very inefficient code from what I
Yeah,
hear.
but what's the other one that Steve Jobs? Flash.
Flash.
Yeah, like Flash.
Flash.
You know,
I was about to say it's one step forward, two steps back. We finally got rid of Flash Player, and now Java and all this security stuff is bogging us down.
Yeah.
So
scripting.
I
mean,
think
you go to
Yeah,
a
I mean,
Facebook
it's
page.
exactly like Sean said. You either drag the old internet kicking and screaming to the old computer, the modern net to the old computer, or the old computer to the modern net. There's going to be compromises either way.
Yeah, like Dana was getting ready to say, is if you ever open up and look at the source of, like, say, a Facebook page, that thing is hundreds and hundreds. I mean,
everywhere.
it's like,
Man, it's not.
And
a
you
page,
look
it's
at it, like I'm looking at it right now. It's very simplistic. It's almost kind of like somebody took the mobile version and but I actually liked it before it looked like this. But it's simplistic as it looks. There's like 10 times more scripts on this now than there were before.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very hard to find a page that's not like that these days.
Right, and I'll leave a page open for 5-10 minutes, and maybe go do something else, and then come back and I'll have a little message that says this page is using a large amount of resources.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a browser page.
Stop using Safari.
I'm not using Safari. I'm using Firefox.
Firefox doesn't show that message.
It will if you
I
leave it
see it
open for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
I even get that when
never
I
had
when I leave Jay's or Bruce's printer cam on. It'll sit there. This page has been using significant resources. It was restarted.
Well, I mean, it's streaming video for God knows how long, so I can see that. But Facebook, I mean,
but why should it do that? I mean, it should be.
trackers.
It should take the data in, show it, and then discard the data. Should not be keeping that anywheres.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but especially when you're looking at a live stream like that, it should just, whatever it comes in, it shows it and gets rid of it. Boom. That's the way.
Well, I'm sure our
should
developer
do.
friend Bruce can develop a solution for us.
Yeah, he'll work it out.
I notice he's not chatting here much anymore, so he probably just.
He's hiding.
Yeah.
He's off
check.
working on 10.4.
Yeah.
He's already downloaded the source code.
Yeah, there you go.
He's cloning the Git repository right now.
All right, so next up is our shameless self-promotion. So I know that Sean has some stuff coming up, and he just kind of mentioned it. So you want to talk a little bit more about that, Sean?
Sure. Well, I don't want to give too much away about this weekend's video coming out Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, but I do a lot of big stuff with the Cursed Mac, and I don't know if it's uncursed or not, but it's different now, so you'll have to tune in and see. But I'm pretty excited about it, and I've been playing with what I've done to the Cursed Mac every single day, and now browsing the internet with it using my two sites.
Well, can we ask you, is it smoky blue yet, or is it?
No, unfortunately, I'm still waiting on the correct Mac Effects case, which kind of sucked because that was expensive. But
Yeah, they sent you the clear one, and then it got stuck in the mail for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was stuck
and
in
you
the mail
open
for-
it up, and you're like, "Well, this isn't blue."
Yeah.
And someone else got your
I
blue
can't
one,
fault
right?
them. They do, that guy does so much stuff. Like all the Kickstarters, like he did the SE30 case, then he did the Apple II case, which I backed. He did the mechanical keyboard for the Apple II, which I backed. It's just like one guy, just like 10.4 Fox. I don't want to give him a hard time about it. The post office is really what what messed up the shipping. Mistakes happen.
right.
and it
Well,
happened to me.
but they didn't mess up the one they sent you though, because you got your addressed one, right? So, but still,
Yeah,
it's a simple
mistakes
mistake.
happen.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah.
guy doing the whole supply chain, I don't want to be
Oh,
too
I
hard
understand
about
that.
it.
No, I
At least
understand that.
He made it right, and he said, "Send the other one back. Here's a prepaid label. I'll get you the other one." Not like "Oh, I'm just gonna ignore you."
Yeah, and he also sent some other goodies too, so he made up for it. Yeah, he's
That's
a nice
good.
guy.
That's good. That's the way it should be in this community, is like that. But
Yeah,
we shouldn't have other people like trying to make money off of it, like some people we know that we will not mention.
Yeah, and actually, I wanna encourage the people that do good in our community on the Facebook group Mac Pro Upgrade. Yesterday or the day before, it might be gone now. Sorry, I didn't plan to discuss this. There's a dude in Queens, New York, selling a fully loaded 5.1 dual CPU Mac Pro for $500. All you gotta do is go pick it up.
That's a steal.
When's the last time you saw a dual CPU,
steal.
fully loaded Mac Pro for $500?
That's a steal.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Is that a real 5.1 or 4.1?
Oh,
So it's a real 5.1.
well, even if it was a 4.1, it's still a great price.
True. Yeah.
So, the last one I saw for sale earlier, beginning of the week or last weekend, it was a dual processor. The graphics card, the RAM, it was all pretty stock, and he wanted $1,200 for it.
Yeah, I laugh at
I remember
that. Well, there's a guy I looked on Facebook Marketplace here. He's wanting to sell a MacBook Air it's a 2014 MacBook Air with 4 gigabytes of memory, i5 processor, 1.4 gigahertz i5 processor. He's wanting $300 for it, and I'm like, "Are you crazy?" And he says, "I am firm. I will not, because it goes for this price on other sites." And I was about to say, "Oh, eBay, right?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it's rare, unfortunately. But there are still people that actually want to help the community and not trying to get rich. I understand that the last year and a half, times have been different. Not everybody is as financially secure as they once were. But, you know, it's nice to see stuff for sale where the price is actually good. Mm-hmm. It's a good deal, and you're not trying to rip people off. It's nice. So
yeah, I mean,
wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, we all get good deals every now and then on stuff. So I mean, when you do, you gotta thank the person for it. You know.
Yeah.
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 So.
Just wanted to throw that in there, but I kind of disrupted the shameless self-promotion.
No, that's good. That you were shamelessly self-promoting that 5.1.
Someone else, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
Yeah. So, anybody else got anything they want to throw out there for shameless?
Well, I did a live stream yesterday saying that I am taking a hiatus from YouTube other than Mac Yak, so...
I noticed that you actually paused your Patreon too, because I got a thing saying you paused it.
Yeah.
So right now, the only Patreon I'm actually contributing to right now is Steve. Yeah.
Your check is in the mail, Gene.
Well, actually, I take that back because I actually contribute to Jay, but he does do Patreon. He does different method.
I do my own thing.
That's right.
Jay's greedy.
So
I do have a few projects I was hoping to finish for March and Tosh, but with everything going on, I wasn't able to. There will be a few videos coming out, scripted videos coming out, but I'm going to do some live streams probably this weekend. So look forward to that.
We will.
So Retro Review goes, he recently migrated his website to Macintosh Gardens hosting. When are they doing hosting? Are they doing?
Oh, they've been doing
it for a while.
Ah.
But the last time I tested it, which is about a year ago, he only offered 100 megabytes. So.
Yeah, but you could have a lot of fun with that.
It's very old school with the tilde and everything.
I love it. It's fantastic.
I hope he doesn't offer his search engine.
No, the new search engine isn't that bad. He's improving it.
No, that's
Does he
when
have
you
a new
use.
one now?
That's when
He just got to use Sean's Frog Find.
I was gonna say, just use Frog.
Yeah, I'll
Find.
license it to him.
Yeah. The frog has to live in the garden. There you go.
Yeah.
See, now what would help people if they use 10.4 Fox and they can set a custom search engine like Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, all that stuff. If you have a plugin for FrogFind that people can just load in there and make it the default, that would be nice. People would use it.
Plugins require JavaScript, and I'm very anti-JavaScript right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This guy's
but
got
you
it
could
all
set
backwards.
that
He hates
as your
JavaScript, but he loves RGB.
I'm gonna make a
You could put
competing
that as your
website,
search
Sean.
bar. Just make the search bar default to it. That's easy. No JavaScript required.
Yep.
Yeah, but people want to type in the search bar, or in the address bar. You know, people be lazy.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know
Yeah.
any of us who are lazy.
Yeah.
just to let everybody know that probably, and I got to look at a calendar, sometime in the next 2, maybe 3 weeks will be my last show for at least a couple of weeks that I'll be actually hosting. So Mike is going to do a show or two. I think you volunteered. And Steve is going to do some as well. Until I get back, I actually have a close date on my house now. So I should be back the week after the 6th is my close date, which is the actual, it's a date that we're having Mac Yak on. I think, no, yeah, the 6th of April. Or 6th of May. I'm sorry, 6th of May.
Agent, look, that's just not going to work for me.
Yeah, 6th of May is a Mac Yak day. So the week after that, I should be back up and running, so I can actually do the show. So that'll be my first show back. So,
even though you can't host, you're still going to be here, right?
Yes, I will be here. Maybe in the chat. It all depends because I'm going to be living in an RV for a couple of weeks, so it's not a whole lot of room to do stuff in. So yeah, that's going to be fun to try. The wife will be like, keep it down, and she'll be in the background too. So it's not like I
just
can
kick her out for 90 minutes. That's fine.
And then she'll have a whole house to herself.
So Kate asks, am I gonna set up a Mac room in the house? Yes, I have my own room in the base or in the bottom of the house or the bottom floor next to the garage, and I will have my own room down there. My wife will have her own room way upstairs, so we won't hear each other. She doesn't yell at me, I don't yell at her. So, because right now we're right across the hall from each other, so we'll be on separate floors. She'll be on the 3rd floor, I'll be on the 1st floor. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool.
So Dave wants to know, Steve, are you streaming after Mac Yak?
And Steve wants to know, he already responded in the chat.
I didn't see it till just now. It just showed up on mine. Sorry.
Oh, there. Yeah, it just came up on mine too.
Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow. My office closes a little early, so won't be an 11 p.m. stream, I promise.
And we know that Bruce won't be streaming tonight because he is not here right now. But anybody else going to be streaming maybe?
I don't know. I might try to do something on Saturday. Since I have access to my storage shed again, I can root around down there and see if there's anything I can get into.
Awesome.
Well, Saturday I'll be busy taking some boxes out to my storage unit because I'm still packing stuff up. In fact, I have a lot of Macs sitting over here all staged and ready to go.
So are you streaming that, GT?
No, I'm not.
Then why the heck you talking about it?
Because I can.
Hey. I was trying to throw hints at somebody about Saturday, but either he didn't want any company or he wasn't really with it. So,
it's my first weekend not doing anything. Leave me be.
I can't blame him. I just thought he might want some company.
We'll hang out again soon. I got to rearrange some crap so you can actually go down the stairs.
Steve, I've already almost killed myself in your cellar. Do you really think that you have to rearrange anything for me?
I don't want to have another funeral, Mike. So don't visit anytime soon.
You're not going to kill me. Slightly meme.
Your tombstone will be your tombstone will be an image writer too.
I might end up paralyzed. I mean, anything can happen, but I doubt you're going to kill me. Believe me.
No,
I've been run over by a 2005 Chevy pickup truck, and
which is on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah,
I'll share the link.
Make sure you check out Mike's Mac Yak and check out the video of me getting run over by my stepdad's truck. And it wasn't a little truck. I'm talking about a little Colorado. We're talking about a Chevy 2500 Crew Cab HD long bed.
And this is not an April Fool's thing. It's really on there. The video is there.
It is.
Yeah, go find the link, Mike. Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Both sets of tires.
Now we'll hang out soon, Mike. I promise.
All right.
That's okay.
And I'll be cleaning my office, but I won't be streaming it.
Okay. He says this every
Jay,
week.
You never clean your office, so why do you even bother?
Well,
As Dana is my witness, I clean my office. But then Madeleine says, "Ooh, I haven't got it. Needs back fixed. Look at all this boxes and boxes of stuff." So it's not my fault. It really isn't.
It's Madeleine's fault, right?
It is.
It was
Everything's
clean for
Madeleine's
about
fault.
7.3 seconds.
All right, guys, got anything else before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, I
No,
want
good.
to put a poll out there for our viewers. So, just because she's got really cool stories, how about we replace Bruce with Madeleine?
No.
That sounds fine.
I'm actually quite okay with that.
That
Bruce
is
is like,
never
I
gonna
leave
happen.
one
Bruce.
show and all this crap happens.
Yep.
No,
All right.
gonna happen.
We
right.
already got one Eep. Sorry, Bruce. You're out.
All right, so guys, make sure you go and join our Discord server if you haven't already. The Discord link is up there on our faces, or actually on Jay's, Steve's, and Dana's face. So it's like right across it. If you haven't already, go and join it. Also, make sure you like and subscribe this video. We got 24 likes and 34 viewers right now, so something's not right there. So
25.
yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Now it's 25, yeah. But
27.
but once you do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And since we don't have Bruce here, we can't say smash that like button. But
Hey, I can do
Yeah,
it.
it's
It's
just
the
not the same.
Australian thing to do.
Yeah,
Oh.
let Madeleine-
like button.
there we go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
I felt like Bruce was here.
I think she does it better than
Just
Bruce.
like the damn video, okay?
Yeah, every time I've played that video, it takes my audio and messes it up. So I refuse to play that anymore.
Oh,
Last-
yeah, blame that clip on our audio.
Madeline, you just have
Exactly.
to explode some capacitors, then it's a perfect replacement.
Yeah.
All right.
And then grow a goatee and shake your head.
If you don't like the video, Lydia will hunt you down.
Ooh, and it's a black cat.
Ooh.
Look
and
at
sit on
those
your
eyes. Just like, believe it.
Yeah. All right. So
She's
make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell icon. We only do this once a week, so you're only going to get hopefully one notification a week. It depends on YouTube if they want to put out the notification or not. However, you do get a notification on Discord, so you will get the notification that we are going live on Discord. At least that works. So at least right now, yeah. So guys, unless we got anything else tonight, we're going to go ahead and call it a night.
Well,
and
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Madeline. It was fun as always.
yep,
Thanks for
Thank you
having
for
me.
joining.
and appreciate
Thank you, great bunch.
Must not have you back again.
Maybe.
it. All right, so we'll let you guys see you guys later, and see you guys next week. Have a good night. Bye.
Yep. Now go.
Bye.